Chlorine is one of the most powerful and dangerous chemical substances on the planet. It is everywhere, in the water that we drink, in the clothing that we use, and even in the medications that save lives. But have you ever asked yourself how it is really manufactured? Where does that substance come from that is capable of burning, destroying metals, and even becoming deadly if it is inhaled? Well then, today we will travel to Louisiana, United States, home of one of the largest chlorine production plants on the planet, a place where every day more than 1,000 tons of salt and strong electric currents are transformed into one of the most reactive and toxic compounds that exist. So, get ready, because you are about to discover how chlorine is produced massively. Let's begin. Step number 1. Arrival of the salt and preparation of the brine. Everything begins with something as simple as salt. Yes, literally, the same salt that you use for cooking. But here it is not about a few grains. We are talking about thousands of tons that arrive every day from underground mines or enormous solar evaporation fields, where the water from the sea is concentrated until only white crystals of an almost absolute purity remain. Once at the plant, that salt is unloaded into gigantic stainless steel tanks, where it is mixed with purified water to form a concentrated solution known as brine. Although it sounds technical, it is nothing more than a mixture of water and salt, completely harmless. But that is about to transform into something much more powerful. But not just any mixture works. The exact proportion of salt and water is controlled by automated systems that adjust the quantities with millimeter precision. With the brine already formed, the work barely begins. Before continuing, it must pass through an extreme purification process. Enormous filters and chemical reactors eliminate remains of calcium, magnesium, or iron, elements that could oxidize the pipes, damage the machines, and stop all production in a matter of minutes. For this reason, each batch is analyzed with an almost obsessive precision. The technicians take sample after sample and observe its transparency, density, and capacity to conduct electricity, the key that will allow the chlorine to be released in the following phase. Nothing is left to chance here. If the brine does not meet the exact parameters, it is filtered again and adjusted until it reaches chemical perfection. Only then, when the liquid shines under the lights of the plant, is the green light given to pass to the next process and begin with its transformation. Step number 2. The electrolysis. With the perfectly purified brine, the most impressive moment of the process arrives. Thousands of liters of this solution flow through enormous pressurized conduits until entering the electrolytic cells, gigantic metallic chambers where electricity and chemistry combine to unleash a reaction of an overwhelming power. There, an electric current of up to 3,000 amperes traverses the brine with a force sufficient to break the salt molecules and release their basic components. The discharge is so intense that, if it were not perfectly controlled, it could melt the metal or release toxic gases contaminating the entire room. 3 key substances for the industry are born from that reaction. At one end, chlorine gas is released, yellowish-green and extremely reactive. At the other, pure hydrogen, used as fuel and chemical material. And in the remaining solution, caustic soda, an essential byproduct in the manufacturing of paper, detergents, and cleaning products. All this occurs in a matter of seconds and under absolute control. The cells remain sealed and completely automated, without human presence. The current that circulates through them is so powerful that no operator can enter the room, since a single contact would be enough to cause a fatal discharge. At this point, the factory has achieved the unthinkable, extracting a lethal and useful gas from something as common as salt. But that newborn chlorine is not yet ready for its use. Before it can be stored or transported, it must pass through a process that transforms it into a stable and safe product. Step number 3. Cooling and purification of the chlorine. The chlorine gas that exits the electrolytic cells is still hot, humid, and loaded with impurities. In that state, it would be capable of corroding any surface that it touches, even the machines that contain it. For this reason, as soon as it leaves the cells, it is conducted through enormous pipes coated with anti-corrosive materials until reaching the cooling zone. There, its first great transformation begins. The gas traverses refrigerant systems, where currents of icy water drastically reduce its temperature. In a matter of seconds, the chlorine loses pressure, cools down, and becomes much more stable to be manipulated without risk. But there is still a hidden enemy: humidity. The enormous clouds of gas pass through gigantic drying towers full of absorbent substances, capable of eliminating even the last trace of water. And it is not an exaggeration. A single drop would be enough to release hydrochloric acid, a substance so aggressive that it could pierce the steel and turn the pipes into dust in a few minutes. Finally, the gas is subjected to a final filtration that eliminates the remains of hydrogen or metallic particles, leaving a completely clean chlorine. Now yes, what was previously a toxic and violent cloud has transformed into pure chlorine gas with its characteristic penetrating odor, ready to transform into its liquid form and advance toward the next step of the process. Step number 4. Liquefaction and storage of the chlorine. Once purified, the chlorine is already chemically stable, but it is still a highly toxic and dangerous gas for its transport. The next challenge is to transform it into that yellowish liquid that we all know. To achieve this, the gas is subjected to a gigantic pressure inside powerful compression systems that force it to concentrate and cool down at the same time. In a matter of seconds, the chlorine changes state and becomes a pale yellow liquid, and so dense that a single leak can release more than 500 liters of toxic gas if it escaped into the air, putting the entire room in danger. That liquid, already stabilized, is pumped toward enormous spherical stainless steel tanks, designed exclusively to resist both the internal pressure and the corrosion of the chlorine itself. Each of these deposits has sensors, automatic valves, and containment walls capable of withstanding leaks or overpressures, because here, a single error could have catastrophic consequences. In fact, no worker can approach without special suits and equipment because a minimal exposure would be enough to cause chemical burns or even asphyxia in a few seconds. In these sealed chambers, the liquid chlorine is maintained at controlled temperatures close to 0 degrees Celsius, awaiting its next destination. Step number 5. Packaging and safety control. Before the chlorine can leave the plant, it must pass one of the most delicate and strict processes of the entire production. The liquid chlorine is transferred from the storage tanks through completely sealed pipes to the packaging zone, an automated and isolated area of the rest of the factory. There, powerful pumping systems dose it with millimeter precision inside carbon steel cylinders and pressurized containers, designed to resist the extreme corrosion of chlorine. Each container passes through rigorous safety tests where it is partially submerged in water to detect possible leaks, while ultra-sensitive sensors analyze the air in search of the slightest trace of gas. If a single molecule manages to escape, the system stops immediately, and the entire line enters emergency mode. But if it passes all the tests, the cylinders are hermetically sealed and labeled with unique codes that register their origin, filling date, and final destination. Only the containers that pass 100% of the controls are approved for transport. The rest is returned to the process or passes through a total decontamination before being reused. At this point, the chlorine is already completely contained, controlled, and certified. A substance capable of corroding metals and disinfecting entire cities, confined inside containers designed with surgical precision and ready to be sent to hundreds of factories, chemical plants, and industrial centers worldwide. Step number 6. Transport and distribution. With the cylinders already sealed and certified, one of the most delicate phases of the entire process begins, moving the chlorine outside the plant without running the slightest risk. Each container is loaded into tanker trucks, specially designed for the transport of corrosive substances, capable of maintaining stable internal pressure for hundreds of kilometers. Before leaving, each vehicle is inspected one by specialized teams, because a single failure would be enough to convert a routine journey into a large-scale chemical emergency. The journey is not left to chance either. The routes are planned with millimeter precision, avoiding urban areas and following protocols that require reporting each checkpoint to the local authorities. A single tanker truck loaded with liquid chlorine can contain enough gas to disinfect the water supply of an entire city, or, if handled poorly, to put it in danger. In addition to the trucks, the chlorine is also transported in trains and pressurized vessels, capable of crossing oceans with thousands of tons of this compound. Only when it arrives at its destination, whether it is a factory, a treatment plant, or a chemical laboratory, is the unloading authorized. And from there, a new story begins, that of chlorine transforming into the products that move the world. Step number 7. Industrial uses and global impact. Once outside the plant, the chlorine begins its second life. Its destination covers thousands of different industries, and although few know it, it is present in almost everything that surrounds us. In water treatment plants, it is used to eliminate bacteria, viruses, and microorganisms, guaranteeing that the water that reaches millions of homes is completely safe. In the plastic industry, it is the base of PVC, an essential material in pipes, electrical cables, windows, and coverings. It is also key in the production of medications, disinfectants, paints, and even in fuel for space rockets. Every drop and every molecule of chlorine that leaves a factory can end up saving lives or building cities. But its power has a price. A single error in its handling can turn it into a mortal threat. To conclude, tell us, did you imagine all this process? Do you think that we could live without chlorine in our daily lives? Leave us your answer in the comments. And if you like this video, do not forget to give it a like, subscribe, and activate the bell to accompany us on the next tour of the factory.